Good morning, guys. Good morning. How's everybody doing? It's June 30th, Friday, TGIF, right before 4th of July. And I'm in Monroe, Louisiana. Brought a load in from Newton, Iowa. Load was paying pretty good, guys. Load was paying pretty good. Now, as you guys can tell, I'm in a different truck. I'm not in the 389 anymore, nor am I with the same company I was with. Nothing wrong with that company. It's just I just needed something. How can I say this? I needed to get back on the road, guys. I needed to get back on the road. Now, let me go ahead and bring everybody up to speed. Okay. With that being said, guys, the company I was with, I mean, I respect them. I like them. In fact, I talked to her the other day. I really enjoyed, working for them. But they were changing avenues. Now, I took some time off before I decided to leave the company. I took some time off mainly because I had a lot of family issues happening. Okay, my son was graduating. He had orientation at school, which is going to be college. He had playoffs. My daughter's getting ready to head to school in Orlando. My wife had a quick surgery. Man, it was just a lot of things going on. So I took about 3 weeks off. And within that time, as you guys know, I was doing rideshare. I was doing Uber and Lyft. And that's a good side hustle, guys. That's a good side hustle. I recommend it depending what market you're in. You know, I live close to Houston. I live very close to the airport. I live very close to downtown. So, my experience doing Uber and Lyft was very, very positive. It's one of those things to where you really have to devote your time if you really want to see some numbers. Okay. Now, if you're just doing it on the side as part-time because you have another gig, then yeah. But if you're solely relying on rideshare, it's something you're going to have to really, really put your time and effort in it. Okay. I stopped doing it mainly because I just started realizing that I'm putting a lot of wear and tear on my own personal vehicle. Okay. So right before Father's Day weekend, I was touching base with the company I was working for. Okay, the flatbed company, and we were just basically running back and forth to West Texas. I was coming home every weekend. The money was okay, but it started slowing down on the money side, mainly because, I was getting about 4 loads to almost maybe 5 going into the weekend a week, and my checks were around $1,200 to $1,500. Now, I know some of you guys might not think that's a lot, but when you're going home every weekend, guys, that's very good. Okay, or at least to my opinion. But on the nuts side of it, it started falling off. Okay, mainly because a lot of these pipe yards around Houston, man, they were eating up my time. I was talking about, man, mainly 5 to 6 hours, man. 5 to 6 hours at these damn, shipping yards. So, man, yeah, a lot of lost time. So basically my 4 to 5 loads a week was getting knocked down to the most 3. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I like flatbed. I get to go out there and do some kind of a exercise, but there are some downsides to it. The weights at these shippers and receivers, and that's everywhere, guys. But man, just for some reason, flatbed was just like, man, it was like one thing after another. Okay, and it was really taking a toll to where it was starting to basically pissing me off. So with that being said, guys, I really thought long and hard about it, and during the time I was away, because I did ask off for those 3 weeks. Okay, because all those things that I had, graduation, orientation, my wife's procedure, getting everything ready for my daughter to leave, make sure her vehicle was in tip-top shape, all these things were happening during the week. So rather than me always ask to come back early during the week, I just went ahead and asked if I can just take some time away. And they gladly accepted it. Okay. So going into last week, right before Father's Day, I touched base with the company, and they're like, "Hey, are you ready to come back?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to come back because everything I had ready was done." Okay, graduation was done. My son's playoffs, orientation was about to start, but that was just a one-day event in San Antonio. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to get back on the road." Okay, well, Melina, which was the main lady, okay, my girl Melina, okay, she was on vacation, all right, and so basically my contact was her sister, all right, and she kind of just brought me up to speed. She's like, "Hey," she goes, "while you're away, this is the changes that we're transitioning to. They're not sending their drivers out as far as they were doing, okay. Mainly they were just staying local. Okay, they were going to be doing some port work because they got a port contract. The numbers that were thrown to me, I was like, man, I said, I can't really. This is what I was thinking, I was like, man, I can't really live off that because I'm gonna be having a lot of more expenses coming up. Okay, my son is about to go to school. I want to buy him a new vehicle. I'm not going to send him off to college with the same vehicle he has. All right. My daughter's going to be out in Orlando. I'm definitely going to have to, give her money whenever she needs it. It was just a lot of things that we're going to be adding on to the expenses I already have. So with that being said, guys, I was like, okay, well, I told them, I said, let me talk to my wife and see if man, it kind of hurt me to really say, you know what, I might have to start looking at other avenues, because I don't think I can live off the potential of what I can make here. Okay. And which they understood, okay. They understood. And with that being said, guys, I was looking out, I was focusing on still doing Uber and Lyft, just to keep money coming in. And long story short, I was looking at other avenues, right? I was even looking at SFI, guys. SFI / Schneider, right? Okay. I've talked to Clovis numerous times over the years, I was literally this close, guys, this close to going to Schneider, right? One thing that I liked about Schneider is you get to book your own loads, okay? You really have to know what you're doing too, man. It's just not something you can just jump in and then say, you know what, I'm gonna start booking my own loads. You really need to know the lanes. You need to know how to stage yourself, so to speak, okay? But I was thinking to myself, man, I said, if I can book myself and my son's gonna go to San Antonio, my daughter's going to Orlando, I'll be able to book myself to areas to where I can slowly start seeing my kids, times that I want to see them, okay? And not only that, basically just come home when I want to, because I do live in a good market, which is Houston, or live outside Houston, which is, not that very far, where I live. But anyways, guys, I was just looking at Schneider, The thing with Schneider, guys, was that they accepted me. Everything was ready to go. But the downside to that was that their scheduled class, okay, and I spoke to him again yesterday, okay, I spoke to Ty yesterday. Ty called me back and wanted to touch base with me, and I told him the reason why, and he kind of like shared some light and explained and cleared some things up. But when I was talking to Clovis told me, "Are you ready to come on board?" And I was literally this close, guys, really, to come on board to Schneider. The thing with Schneider was that their next available class was going to be 2 weeks away, okay, which would have been this past Monday. Well, I was like, well, damn, I really don't want to start that late. I want to start now. I need to get on the road now because my daughter leaves the 15th, the 13th, okay, of July. Okay, she needs to report to Orlando. She has her own orientation. She needs to check in and all this other stuff, right? So I was like, man, I need to be on the road now so I can go ahead and schedule, my comeback. And what I was planning to do was go somewhere, run hard for about 3 weeks, come home, and then drive my daughter to Orlando. Okay, that was the plan, guys. That was the plan. So But then also when I was looking at Schneider, I was looking at other areas. Okay, other areas. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and clarify something, guys. Let's go ahead and clear something up. The two companies that are outside Chicago, I'm not gonna list who they are. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about, but they weren't an option. They weren't an option, guys. You know, not anything negative towards them. It is what it is. It's just I just learned from my mistakes. Okay, so that wasn't even an option. But there was one company that I came across that struck my curiosity, so to speak. It struck my curiosity. So I went ahead and chimed in. I put my application in, okay, and they called me back. Okay, I put my application in on a Wednesday, right before Father's Day weekend. Okay, on a Wednesday. They called me that Thursday. Okay, actually they called me while I was at my son's orientation, so I couldn't really talk to them because we were walking around with the people that walk you around the campus and stuff like that. But they did leave me a message. You know, they told me that they were just checking with me about my application. So that Friday, I called them back, and apparently everything checked out. All I had to do was just give them consent on my clearinghouse. I gave them consent. Everything checked out fine, guys. I talked to the lady. Now, the reason why I was moving kind of quick on this was because a lot of things that they had that they were listing on their website was catching my attention. Okay, their numbers, their percentages, their lanes that they run, their equipment that they use. All right, and not only that, they're American based. Okay, to me that's a big thing from going forward. Right, they're American based. All right. So, a lot of things that they were listing on the website and a lot of things that the lady was sending me, okay, was really, really catching my eye, okay. So I talked to my wife, they told me that they would fly me out, they would put me up in a hotel. The orientation only lasts for about a day and a half, a lot of things, and one thing that also caught my eye or caught my attention was that the lady that I was talking to was a previous driver. Okay, she wasn't a outside recruiter like some of these companies. They hire outside independent recruiters, or companies to do their hiring. And some of these people don't really know the whole company ins and outs. Okay, and that's one thing that I want to share with you guys is when you're looking for these companies, ask them, are you part of the company or are you an independent recruiter? Okay, because these independent recruiters, guys, really don't know the whole ins and outs of the company. They just have a sheet, they list what the company's about, and then that's it. All right, their main objective is basically just to put butts in the seat because that's how they get paid, right? So this person was a previous driver. She's been with the company for a very long time, and they're based out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And she did tell me, she's like, you know what, let me know by 3 o'clock today. We have classes starting Mondays and Wednesdays. You can be here as early as Monday, to get going. So I was talking to my wife all day Friday, and I called her. I called her back because me and my wife was like, you know what do we have to lose, guys? What do we have to lose? All right. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. Okay, I called them back. I talked to the lady. I said, you know what, I'm good to go. All right, let's do this. All right, if you guys are saying what you guys are gonna say, and keep your word, then I'm on it. I'm all in, right? So she's okay. Well, she's like, can you be here Sunday night? Okay, so you can start orientation Monday morning. Okay, and I was like, ooh, no, I can't because right now I'm in San Antonio. Just finished my son's orientation for school, and then we're gonna be here for the weekend because it was Father's Day weekend. And she's like, okay, that's fine. She goes, I understand that. Can you be here for Wednesday? And I was like, yeah, definitely I can. She's okay. She's like, well, can you fly or can you drive? And I said, well, whatever's easier for you guys because they send you out, guys. They send you out. She's okay. She's like, well, you're going to probably have to fly out Tuesday to be here Wednesday. Cool, no problem. So they flew me out. I had to fly from Houston to Atlanta to Little Rock. All right, they put me in the hotel along with some other drivers. Hotel was very nice, guys. They gave us vouchers for breakfast and dinner. Both of them were very good. It wasn't just basic food. I mean, it was pretty good food, guys. Okay. Orientation is there in the hotel. We don't have to go anywhere else. Their schedule orientation was Wednesday all day, basically just basic procedures, paperwork, stuff like that. And then on Thursday, it's supposed to be half a day in the classroom or in the little conference room. And then they go ahead and shuttle you over to the yard to where you look at the trucks, you pick your trucks, you do your paperwork. You do a small road test, guys, but it was nothing major. Okay, it was nothing major. It was basically just around the block, come right back, and that's it, you know. But, you know, I flew out there, like I said, Tuesday. I'm going to have to do this video in 2 parts, guys. 2 parts. In 2 parts, okay. But, yeah. Flew out there Tuesday. Tuesday night, I stayed in the hotel. Wednesday morning, got up, went to go have breakfast, you know, eggs, ham. What's going on, guys? Sorry about that. I had to make some space. Had to delete some old videos. But anyways, I flew out there Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I got up, did my orientation. Orientation was very basic, guys, like I was telling you. You know, paperwork, watch a couple of classroom videos. Ended the day like around 3 o'clock. Went to the lobby. You know, we got dinner. Watched the baseball College World Series with a couple of drivers. There was 6 of us. One of them was a returning driver. He had to leave the first time because he had some family issues he had to take care of, so he was gone, and he came back, and you know, and he had some good things to say about the company, right? He wasn't blowing smoke up our ass. You know, he was telling us, you know, just watch out for this, watch out for that, but overall he was telling us that the company was a pretty good company. You know, they're pretty down home. You know, you know, but they don't put up with any bullshit, but they are easy to work with, you know. So then Thursday, you know, got up, went to breakfast again. We're in the room, in the classroom, half a day. They did feed us for lunch. Lunch was real good. You know, they have it catered. Thursday was more of basically watching safety videos, finalizing any kind of like stuff you didn't finish on Wednesday. And then the owner of the company came in, spoke to us, had lunch with us. Seems like a pretty cool guy, down to earth. You know, he told us how the company started, you know, and then he actually took us in his own personal vehicle over to the yard and showed us around. They are adding to the company, or actually to the building. Actually, they're making a new building in the same yard. Okay, here they have all. Well, I won't say all, but they have the 5 major brands of vehicles that you can use. Either going to be Freightliner, Peterbilt, Volvo, Kenworth, or Mack. As you guys can see, I'm in a Mack. Now, before you guys jump off the roof, okay, during the afternoon on that Thursday, we did get a text, all right, asking us what 2 trucks we prefer to drive. My first one was obviously a Volvo 860. I like them. They're very spacious. If I want to be on the road between 2 to 3 weeks, I want to be comfortable, guys. And then my second was going to be either a Peterbilt / Mack. Okay. So when I got to the yard, they only had one Volvo. It was real nice, man. It was real nice. I was like, man, I hope I get that one. Okay. It was black, clean. It was nice. I was in the second group, guys. I was in the second group because they broke us down into groups of 3. You know, 2 groups of 3, that is. Went on a road test, whatever. When I came back, we went inside, talked to the lady that was assigning the trucks, and she gave me the Mack key. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, you don't have any Volvos? You know, she's like, no. She goes, the last Volvo I had, the guy in the first group took it. I was like, you know. She goes, I'm sorry. I said, no, it's okay. It's all right. No problem, right? She goes, here's the key. Go out there, look it over, tell me what you think, and if you don't like it, we can see what else we have, right? So I go out to the yard. All Meckley guys like the color. I like the color, guys. It's like a royal blue with some glitter flakes in it. Real clean, guys. It's a 2023 Mack Anthem. Okay. Basically, it rides very smooth. All trucks are automatic. All trucks have APUs. All trucks have inverters. All trucks have refrigerators. Okay. Man, you know, it's almost like driving a Volvo. Okay. The only thing is it doesn't have the bunk that turns into a table, which is fine, guys, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Okay. So, all day Thursday, at the end of the day, finalizing the paperwork. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop that video here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do part 2 here in a second. All right. Talk to you guys in a minute.